Hey everyone, today is July 25th and today marks the 6 days of my 30 days of talking to camera challenge. So let's talk. I was doing this challenge because I wanted to improve my English and moreover my communication skills. I have confidence, I feel like I have confidence, but I don't have actually. The main thing I want to improve is my English. I many times mumble while speaking sentences and I break the words. I forgot the words, I have less vocabulary. I feel like this. If you see my videos, you may also find that many times I speak wrong things and then I correct myself. Then also, and after that also I again speak wrong things, and many times I also have breaks during my word, like I had right now. This is just because I don't have much practice of speaking to English. I don't know what to say now. Let's talk about my day. Today I woke up at 4 a.m. Then I went to gym. Sorry, not 4 a.m. 5 a.m. Then I went to gym. I came from gym. I did some DSA. I solved one question. I attended my class, had breakfast, lunch, and at evening I wrote a blog. These days I feel like the days are being like very repetitive and nothing good is going on with my life. Everything is like just boring and I can't feel that much focused. One more reason I feel is that I am not getting enough sleep. Right now the time is 11 a.m. and I'll sleep by after like 20 to 30 minutes. I'll go to bed, and tomorrow again I'll wake up at 4 a.m. I'm only getting 5 to 6 hours of sleep in a day, and I'm not sleeping in between. I'm doing workout and studying all day. So just because of all these stuffs, I can see that I'm not able to focus that much on my work. I don't know what to say. I was thinking of making videos on some different topics, things that I feel, of things that I see in the world, and instead of talking about my day, because nothing special is going on with my life. Everything is just boring and everything feels just repetitive. Things are going again and again. So on what topic should I speak today? Is it gym or coding or blogging or something like that? Don't know, not necessarily. I am thinking of speaking on. Let me explain binary search to you. After all, I have to speak something, and this is the algorithm that I know very well. So let me talk to you about it. So what is binary search? Binary search is a searching algorithm which is required to search any elements in an array or a linked list. What is an array? Array is like a collection of some elements, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a collection of numbers or collection of elements. Suppose we have an array, we have numbers like 1, 2, 8, 7, 3, many numbers, and we have to search a number particularly, like suppose we have to search 14. Now what we will do? We will iterate over each and every element until we reach 14. Suppose 14 is at the last index of the element. How much time will it take? It will take n time. If there are n elements, then it will take n time. Suppose there are only 14 elements, then it will take 14 time. 14 time means 14 times. If searching of one element takes 1 second, then searching of 14 elements take 14 seconds. Isn't it too lengthy? Have you seen the graph? The graph goes like straight like this. The graph is increasing. Isn't it taking too much time? Suppose what if we had a lot of elements, then what we would do in that case? So we can see that this is taking a lot of time. And if the array is already sorted, if we know that the array is already in ascending order or in descending order, then in that case we can use something different. We can use a different searching algorithm, and that algorithm is called binary search. So let's see a real life example of binary search. When you are searching any word in a dictionary or any page number, what do? Suppose I want to search page number 23, and I open a book randomly and I go to page 56. Now I definitely know that the page which I am looking to is before this page. I know that this page can never be after this page, so I will search it before. Now suppose I came to page number 12. Now I know that this is after 12 but before 56. So in each case we are reducing the size of the array. We are reducing the size of number of pages that we have to search. We are completely neglecting the pages which is after the bigger number, and we are completely neglecting the pages which are before the smaller number of the element, and this way we can reach the exact element which we want. So what happens in this case is, in binary search, first we will divide the array into two parts and we will take the middle element. We will see that if the middle elements is bigger than the elements bigger than the key element which we want to search, then we will search before the middle element. And if the middle element is smaller than the element which we need to search, then we will search it in the left side of the element. Are you getting my point? I hope I am making sense. Suppose this is an array, this is the middle element, so we will search, we will take the start element and the end element, and then we will find the middle element. And suppose the key is smaller than the middle element, then we won't search in this part of the array, we will simply search in this part of the array. And if the key is here, suppose in the if the key is bigger than the middle element, then we will simply search into this half of the array, we will neglect this half. So in this way we are making our array size like half, we are dividing it by 2 every time. So what is happening if we divide the array by 2 every time? Suppose it takes order of 1, big of 1 time to search, like constant time to search, and n by 2 to the power 1 time. If we are dividing it 1 time, so it is getting n by 2. If we are dividing, suppose there are n elements in the array, and if we are dividing it 1 time, so it is getting n by 2. We are dividing it one more time, n by 4, n by 8, n by 16, so n by 2 to the power 1, n by 2 to the power 2, n by 2 to the power 3. This way, suppose in the last step, when the array when the search is complete, it will take n by 2 to the power k time. So, and this is constant time, like when the search is going on, this search is happening, this is constant time. So n by 2 to the power k equals to 1. So n is equals to 2 to the power k. So what is the value of k? Yes, you guessed it right. It's n, it's log n base 2. So the time taken in this case is log n base 2. We know that the graph of n is, it goes like this way, like straight upwards, and the graph of log n is steeper than the graph of n. It doesn't increase that much as the graph of n increases. So in this way we can reduce the time taken by our search to perform. I hope this example is clear. Do you want to know a example of this binary search? So okay, so let me give an example. Suppose we have to find the square root of a number. How can we find that? Suppose we have the number 68. Now we will create an array. No, 68 is not a perfect square. Let me take a number which is a perfect square. Suppose we have a number 81. So how we will do that? We will first take an array, and in that array we will add all the numbers from 0 to 81. This will take constant time. Now what we will do is, we will divide the array into 2 parts. We will check the middle of the array. So what would be at the middle of the array? At the middle of the array, the element will be 41. So we will see if the square of 41 is bigger than 81 or is less than 81. So the square of 41 is bigger than 81. So in that case we will neglect all the elements after 41, and we will check behind 41. Now we will check what's the middle element of 41. So now we will get the element as 21. Now we will see if 21 square bigger than 81 or smaller than 81. If it is bigger than 81, then we will neglect it, and we will check in the left side of the array. Now from 0 to 21 we will see the middle of the element. So the middle of the element will be something like 11. So we will see the square of 11 would be bigger than 9, bigger than 81, or smaller than 81. So it will be bigger than 81. So we will then again neglect the rest of the element and take the left side of it. Now the half of 11 would be 6. Now we will see the square of 6 will be bigger than 81 or smaller than 81. We clearly know that the square of 6 is smaller than 81. So in that case we will check the right side of the array. Now we will check from 6 to 11. We will see if the middle element of 6 to 11, so it would be like 8 or 9 something. Now we will see if suppose it's 9. I can't calculate actually. If the square of 9 is bigger than 81 or smaller than 81 or equal to 81. Now we can see that the square of 9 is equal to 81. So in that case we have our result, and our answer is 9. I hope this example was clear, and I am thinking that I did pretty good job in explaining the stuff. I think I should not recite my day, because my day went completely boring. I am a mad person, I am a depressed person, so I can't say much about my day. I think if I am explaining something, I feel much better, I feel much positive inside, and I can do that thing in a better way. Few years back I had started a YouTube channel where I used to explain things on Blackboard. I used to explain concepts of physics, chemistry, mathematics, and I really loved doing that thing. So I think this is something what I do. Tomorrow also I'll share a topic and I will teach something. Yeah, this is good. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you if you have watched. I till now day 6 has happened and there is 0 views. It's okay that the views are 0. I'll still be consistent. But if you are watching, please tell me what should I do. And yeah, that's all. No, sorry. Don't tell me what should I do. Tell me how should I improve my English and how should I speak, or on what topic should I speak. Don't know what should I do. I won't dance here for you or do any sort of things like that. I can only talk to you in camera, because that's the skill which I want to learn and which I want to improve, and that could only be improved through consistency. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you. Bye bye.